Hello everyone, I'm Andy from the Pixel Pub, and I'm here to talk about our recent retro game pickups. Okay, so we got a little bit of variety here. We got some Game Boy Color, GBA, PSP, PlayStation, GameCube, PS3. A lot of fun stuff, but a lot of these are Kathy pickups. She's been on a kind of a rampage on some portable games in the last couple stores we've been to. So let's just start with the portables first. Okay, first up we got Star Wars Episode 1 Racer for the Game Boy Color. It has the battery slot for a rumble feature, which quite a few GBA color games have, I'm discovering as we get more of them, which is strange. Who wanted their GBA or their Game Boy Color rumbling? I probably said GBA a bunch of times there. Anyway, this is based off that first Star Wars movie, Phantom Menace, or the first one in the chronologically, the Phantom Menace. And I played Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on the N64 and the Dreamcast. I didn't know there was a Game Boy Color version until she got it, and it's not great. It's kind of a top-down racer, and it's based on the pod racing scene from that movie, and everything kind of looks kind of weird, and I don't know. Wasn't great, this whole trip that we went down to Limited Run Games and a handful of retro game shops that we know of. I think Kathy said she picked up a bunch of crap. And I think this is one of them. But it's another game in the collection, and that's fun. But yeah, I really want to get those the Dreamcast version of this game. I had a lot of fun with that. And there's a sequel version on the PS2 I remember playing. I rented, and it was like the first time you could like see Anakin Skywalker as an adult, because it was before Episode 2 came out, the Attack of the Clones. And it was like, oh man, and it was like another racing game, pod racing, and it's like, yeah, they're fun games if you don't play them on the Game Boy Color. Okay, next up, continuing on the Game Boy Color train here, we got Nicktoons Racing, which I was just admiring the cover here. Got some of my favorites, Hey Arnold, Rugrats, the Angry Beavers are on here, but it's got, SpongeBob, way after my time. Cat Dog, I was kind of getting out of Nicktoons at the time, and Wild Thornberries, I was out. Like, that was one of the first ones. Didn't like Rocket Power. Rocket Power is kind of on the edge, but Wild Thornberries came out, I was out. No more Nicktoons for me. But this is a racing game, isometric style, so it looks a bit better than Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, which is straight up top down, and like, I don't know, that game doesn't look good. But as I'm talking about this game, Kathy's over there giving a big thumbs down for Nicktoons Racing. I guess it wasn't good. I guess Kathy's not a fan of isometric racing games. She didn't ask for my opinion on any of these games to pick up, but I probably would have said they're probably not that great. I don't know, like licensed games back in the day, like this is also a licensed game, but the ones on the main consoles were good. I don't know, a lot of them were just shovelware. They just put them out for kids to buy and like play them for 10 minutes and realize they suck and never play them again, or play them a ton and then grow up and 20 years later realize, man, that game I really liked sucked. But I don't know, Nicktoons Racing, I don't know. I didn't play it, but I saw a bit of it and I thought it looked fine. I don't know, but I grew up playing RC Pro-Am and stuff like that, isometric racers, so I probably have more tolerance for it than Kathy does. But anyway, that's Nicktoons Racing. Okay, next up is another Game Boy Color game and another racing game. It is Mickey Speedway USA on the Game Boy Color. This is a game that I desperately want on the N64 because it is a Rare-made racing game. It is, I guess, the Rare logo is on this cartridge, so I'm guessing they did some work on this as well. Also isometric. But instead of the Nicktoons, you got the Disney cast of characters. You got Mickey, Donald, Goofy, people like that. Says she doesn't remember much about this. She says better than Nicktoons. So, yeah, Rare was pulling some heavy weight back in the day. They were putting out game after game after game after game. And it turns out on multiple consoles, it looks like. Not only the N64, but the Game Boy Color as well. I really want to get that the Mickey Speedway USA on the N64 because it does look good, and I have just a weird nostalgia for N64 racing games that I never played because I did read a lot of them back in the day, but I did read a lot about them in Nintendo Power, and I did want to play all of them, but I couldn't. I was a child, so I didn't want to get any and all racing games I can't get on the N64. But this is not an N64 game. This is a GBA. I keep saying that. This is a Game Boy Color game. I refuse to say GBC for some reason. Yeah, this is another one of those games Kathy picked up, and she's like, I don't know. She said she did bad. Okay, this wasn't part of that trip where Kathy bought a bunch of bad games, but it is a Game Boy Advance game. The Herbs, Sims in the City, I know Kathy played a little bit of this, maybe a lot of bit of this. The only thing I heard about it was that she mowed a lot of lawns.
No. You're getting them confused.
I'm getting confused. Okay, the mowing the grass thing is not accurate to this game. That Sims are busting out, we just learned. But the herbs, I guess, is just... it says Sims in the City. You can't come up with a more direct subtitle than that right there. I think it's... you have a Sims thing, but they're not in a little suburb. They're in an urban environment. She says it's supposed to have the Black Eyed Peas. I doubt they have a Black Eyed Peas song on this Game Boy Advance cartridge. I know they put like SpongeBob episodes and Pokemon episodes on Game Boy Advance cartridges. You can probably hear it typing away. The Game Boy Advance version does not have the Black Eyed Peas, so I was proven right once again. Yeah, so we don't know much about this game, I guess. I guess you didn't play it. When did you pick it up? I'm going to say this is going to be going on the bad game pile.
It's not bad.
Okay, next game is a PSP game, a Japanese-only PSP game, and it's a game that I looked up the title of a few weeks ago when I planned on recording this video, and I didn't end up recording it. We went to the beach instead, and I don't remember what it was called, but I'm going to go ahead and say it on a limb here. It is Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy Itadaki Street, which is like Fortune Street here in America. They did release one Fortune Street game here in America, I believe, on the Wii, and it was Mario and Dragon Quest. This is Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy characters in a board game-like environment. My understanding about Fortune Street is a lot like Monopoly, where it's a lot of money-based board game, but there's a lot of like you're buying stocks and stuff like that, and like it's a long game like Monopoly, but this is all the characters are based around Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy characters, and Kathy wants every Dragon Quest game she can get, and she's a fan of Final Fantasy as well. You can tell that this game was released around the time that Final Fantasy 12 was released, because of kind of the main cast on top, the main Final Fantasy characters up there, they're all from 12. You got Vaughn, Penelo, Fran, Balthier, Ash, that one guy's name I can't remember. Anyway, but yeah, you got the Dragon Quest 8 characters at the bottom. That was the latest game. You got Angelo and Jessica, Yangus. Yeah, so it's a game that I guess we can play because the PSP is region free, but it's all in Japanese, and it is a board game, so there's a lot of reading. I think Kathy just got this to add to her Dragon Quest collection because she likes Dragon Quest that much. So there's really not much to say about this game other than that. Okay, next game is a PS Vita game, which is like our fourth Vita game or something like that, fifth. It is Virtue's Last Reward. Now, we were at a retro game store a few weeks ago, a month ago, sometime. What is time? Spotted 999. It's like 9 doors, 9 people, 9 something, which is the first in the Zero Escape series, which you can see it on here. And I was talking with Sailor Nuggy and Kathy about it, and I was like, I remember that when that game came out, people were freaking out about it and how good it was. It's like a kind of visual novel, but with a lot of like puzzle stuff, and like it's kind of a kind of scary environment and stuff like that. Escape room style stuff with a big cast of characters, and they kept making the games, and Virtue's Last Reward was the next one. Somehow Kathy talked herself into letting Sailor Nuggy buy the 999. She probably should have got 999 because that's the first one. She has regrets. Virtue's Last Reward is the second one, and this one was there for the Vita, and it was cheaper, and Sailor Nuggy doesn't have a Vita, so Kathy picked this up. And she hasn't played it yet. I think she's waiting to be able to pick up 999 for herself, so she could play through it. I think there's this is a sort of a trilogy, and then there's other Zero Escape games that are separate from these. I'm not sure. I've never played them. I just heard about them at the time. I did look it up, and it seemed like it was strongly recommended that you play them in order. So, and when you miss out, you miss out. That's what happens. But she got Virtue's Last Reward. It is available on the 3DS as well, which I imagine. Well, I was about to say it has to be better on the 3DS because of the touchscreen and stuff, but the Vita has a touchscreen as well. When you're doing puzzles and stuff like that, in an escape room style game, you would think a touchscreen would help it out, but I forgot the Vita does have a touchscreen as well. So yeah, Virtue's Last Reward. I'm sure that's gonna be a ton of fun for Kathy when she gets around to it. Okay, next up is a game that I picked up that I should have picked up decades ago. At this point, I had to get it for my top 10 games in 1998 because it is a top 10 game in 1998. It's Spyro the Dragon. Got it off eBay, and I remember I never owned Spyro the Dragon back in the day, but I did rent it a lot. I really had a ton of fun with it. I just really enjoyed the graphics of it, the graphical style, like whatever Insomniac did. Is Insomniac? Yes. And whatever Insomniac did on the PlayStation 1 to render out these graphics for Spyro in this 3D platformer was just A+. Mwah. Like technical geniuses. Like everything just looked and flowed so well. And like there wasn't too many other PS1 games that looked like it at the time. And it played super well. The game ran great. It was fun to run around as Spyro and bang people in the butt with your headbutt attack or set them on fire, and all the fun different levels and stuff. It just reminds me of like renting a PS1 game on a Saturday night that I had nothing to do because I'm 15, 14 years old, and just playing it until dinner was ready. It was just this is the epitome of that for me, like that type of night. This is Spyro, and I don't know why I never got it since then, but we do have the Spyro Reignited trilogy on the PS4, and that's also highly recommended. Kathy played through that a few years ago. Played through the first one, had a good fun time with it, and yeah. So if you don't want to play Spyro on PS1 and don't have a way to do that, pick up that Reignited trilogy because it's really good. And speaking of Spyro, Kathy picked this up. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, which is something I never played. I've only played Spyro 1. I never touched the sequels. It's Ripto's Rage, and there's a third one on the PS1 as well. I don't know what it's called. Kathy got this when we went to, was it the Gaming Geek Expo? I believe it was. But Kathy picked it up. I don't think I was around because I could have told her what was what. But she was sure we had Spyro 1 in the collection. I was like, no, we don't. It's like, no, we do not have Spyro 1 in the collection. She's like, yeah, we do. I'm like, no, we don't. So she bought this a while back. I picked up Spyro 1 off eBay, a handful of weeks ago. Whenever that 1998 video came up, it probably came in like a week before that video went up. But yeah, Spyro 2, I don't have a lot of experience with. None, really. I know seems like they tried to do more with it. Kathy played a little bit on the Reignited trilogy. I don't know if she had a good time with it. Yeah, it seems like she says she didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. I think they tried to make it a bit more complex. Spyro 1 is very pure, just platformer. You're rescuing your dragons. You're chasing around Egg Dude, stuff like that. I'm sure you still do this stuff in this game as well, but there's probably a bit more in it. But yeah, I need to play it. I need to play it because I want to know. And there's an ad for Crash Team Racing on there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Spyro, Ripto's Rage. I have a hard time knowing what to call it because if you look at the spine here. Is that upside down? I can't tell. It says Spyro 2 in parentheses. Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage, and then you look at the cover, there's no 2 at all. So, I don't know. That's Spyro's Ripto's Rage. Okay, next up is a PS1 game that I picked up, and it's something I've been wanting for a very long time because it's a game I rented way back in the day when wrestling was hot, professional wrestling, Monday Night Wars, WWF, WCW, all this other stuff. But I rented this game, and I wanted it for one reason and one reason only. It's WCW NWO Thunder. This game is terrible. This game is awful. It's like a semi-sequel to WCW NWO Nitro, which came out before this, and it was like its own brand of wrestling game. It's like falling apart. I can't remember where I got this from. I probably got it from... No, I think I got it from Pin and Block. But there are cheats in this game that I think are hilarious. One of them is you can unlock a dance hall as an arena that you wrestle in, and instead of wrestlers doing their wrestling moves, they dance. And they're like, you're doing this the whole time as you're not moving, and you're kicking your feet out, and like you got to do a suplex, but they do a big like twirling dance move and stuff like that, and it's hilarious. I filmed a video and sent it to the Pixel Bub compatriots Shelby and Josh of Tony Schiavone dancing with a horse, and that's hilarious. When this game came out, and what does this say? 98. It says here, maybe 98, 99. I don't know. Who knows? What game could you say you could have Tony Schiavone, a wrestling announcer, dance with a horse, or Hulk Hogan dance with a cow, or Macho Man Randy Savage dance with an alien, or something like that? It was strange. It was so weird. That alone, it was like $8. I was like, I have to have this game. I want to be able to recreate that anytime I want to because what a fun little thing. Man. WCW NWO Thunder. Okay, next up we got some PS3 games. Both are Kathy pickups. First one is Heavy Rain. This is the director's cut, it looks like on here. This is one of those, what was the name of the studio that did this? Quantum Dream did this, and they continue to put out stuff. One of the last big things they did was Detroit Become Human. I think they had the Star Wars. They're doing a Star Wars game next, I think. But this is when I kind of first heard about them. I know they did games before that, like Fahrenheit something and Omicron on the Dreamcast. They had starred David Bowie. But this one was the first like big thing I saw them do. And it's kind of like an adventure game with kind of like high budget visuals for the time. I think it probably still looks pretty good on the PS3. But you're trying to find the origami killer, I believe. It was something that I told Kathy years and years and years ago I was going to pick up and we could play together, and I never did. It's never happened. I do think I have it on Steam now, but Kathy wanted to finally get it. I still don't think I played any of the Quantum Dream games at all. I'm trying to think. The only games that are coming to mind that are games like this that I know I played are like Man of Medan and what was it? The one that, it's not the same team. It's not Quantum Dream. It's another team that does like horror, adventure-esque style video games with high production values. Can't remember the name of that team right now. But yeah, Kathy says she wants to play this game sometime in this spooky season. We're coming up here in October. We're at the end of September as I'm recording this. But yeah, maybe she'll play it and she'll find out who the origami killer is. Okay, next is another PS3 game. It's another Kathy pickup that she's trying to get every single Atelier game that she can. And this is Atelier, and I'm going to butcher this, Eska and Logi? I don't know. Here. If you're going to read that. The Alchemist of the Dusk Sky. I'm not too keen on Atelier games. I did play a little bit of Ryza, and I think I've said this before many times when I've talked about picking up more Atelier games. I thought Atelier Ryza was going to be like an action RPG, but it wasn't. It was turn-based, and I was kind of disappointed. I turned it off. But Kathy seems to have a good time with them. She's picking them up left and right. We have a ton of them here in the room as we speak. And it's just another one to add to the collection. We plan on getting this. What, 2029, 2040, 2041? Man, I don't know. I don't know about these games. Okay, last two games are both GameCube games and both games that I picked up. So this is a game that I had back when it first came out, and it's one of those games that I lost, you know, moves and stuff like that. Life happens. But it is Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. For some reason, lost the game, but I still have the bongos. And Kathy has 2 sets of bongos because she played a lot of Donkey Konga, which is an inferior game, in my opinion. So we have 3 sets of bongos in this house, but I didn't have this game. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, unlike Donkey Konga is a rhythm game where you play the bongos and it's just like, whatever. You're playing like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and some shit. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is a platformer where you play with the bongos, and you like tap the right side to make Donkey Kong go to the right, tap the left side to go to Donkey Kong go to the left, and you can clap and you hit both of them at the same time, and you can jump and then clap and grab the bananas, and like you get in these boss fights, and it's like Punch Out where you hit the things really hard and then Donkey Kong just beats the shit out of other monkeys. It's incredible. This game's amazing. This game justified those bongos for me by himself. I remember playing this at a Best Buy on a demo kiosk, and I was just blown away. I had to buy it right then. I was like, God, I was fresh out of college. Must have been like a handful of weeks, not even a month when this game came out. I had no money, and I just had to scrounge up. I remember scrounging up all the change I could to buy this game and Guitar Hero 2 on the PlayStation 2, because I played both of those on kiosks, and I was like, man, I need those games, and I got them both around the same time. Rhythm games. What is this? A rhythm game, obviously, but you're playing it with a plastic instrument. But I just had such a fun time, and it's like something that I've been wanting for forever, and I've been wanting it forever to add back to the collection. I can't remember where I got it. I can't remember where I got it from, honestly. This frustrating. Usually I'm really good at remembering this stuff. But yeah, I freaking love this game. I need to go back and play some more of it. Right now our CRT is, I think it's on its last legs. Everything's very dark. Very dark. Almost you can't really see what's going on. So I might want to, we get that replaced at some point. Maybe we can find one for someone trying to get rid of one for cheap, because we haven't paid any money for a CRT yet, and it's like our 3rd one. So hopefully we can get it replaced, and I could play my Donkey Kong Jungle Beat on my OG GameCube and have a ton of fun. Last up is another GameCube game, a game that I didn't own back in the day, but as soon as I saw it being played, I was like, I have to have this game. It's WarioWare Inc. Mega Party Games. This is basically, They took WarioWare, the original one on the Game Boy Advance, and made it on the GameCube and made it multiplayer. And I watched a Giant Bomb stream of it years and years and years ago, like pre-pandemic, and it seemed like a ton of fun. Like these people were playing these, little micro games, but there's also other stuff going on. Like I can't remember all the things that happened during it, but just say for example, this might happen in the game. You're playing your thing where you have to type the button at the right time, but the game tells everyone else, hey, you need to, squawk like a chicken, and everyone squawks like a chicken, and then at the end you get to vote for who squawked like the chicken the best. Like it's just stuff like that. It's just a wild, wild time. I always really wanted it. I actually saw it at GalaxyCon. When we went to GalaxyCon, I saw this at one of the retro game little pop-ups, little vendors there. There's not a lot at GalaxyCon. It's usually more broad nerd stuff, not catered to retro gamers like myself. But they had it, and it's in exquisite conditions. Got the manual and everything. I was like, I have to have this. I really, really want to get Shelby and Josh over here so we can play it together on a stream or on a video or whatever. Maybe at some point in time, Nintendo will add it to the NSO GameCube thing. When I bought this, I didn't think that would be a possibility because I didn't really think of it. But after I bought it, I was like, oh, they might put it up there because it is a Nintendo game. They do own all that stuff. So, hey, maybe they'll put it up there and that'd be a lot of fun. Play it that way. But I had to have the GameCube version because it just seems like a ton of fun. I need people to play it with. I need at least 4 people to come in here, sit on the game room couch, and we can play it. I know I said my CRT's not working great, but I have HDMI cables for the GameCube, and we can play it on the bigger TV. So, yeah, WarioWare Mega Party games. Okay, so that's been the retro games we picked up over the past couple of months. As I'm recording this, we are going on a trip up to Ontario, Canada, where we like to do a lot of game shopping up there, and hopefully we'll find some cool stuff. I'll probably do a little vlog up there of us game hunting, and then I can share with you what we get. Hopefully, fingers crossed. You never know what you might find. It could be nothing. It could be amazing treasures. But anyway, please like and subscribe. All that fun stuff. Let me know in the comments what fun retro games you've picked up lately, because I love talking about that stuff with you guys. Anyway, I've been Andy from the Pix Pub. Peace out.